Hello there, this is Ben Fournier, Benevolence at a Quorum, going to continue my Proverbs and Cognitive Function series. Here's Proverbs 15:15. All the time the eyes of evil ones favorably receive evil things, but the good tranquil are always. Okay, and what's evil one supposed to be in the Septuagint? No, that's the same thing. Okay. Interesting. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but the cheerful heart has a continual feast. So maybe an FE type thing for that. The afflicted, so like sick or... Because evil here I don't think means morally evil necessarily then. All the days of the troubled are evil, but he whose heart is glad has an unending feast. All the days of the oppressed are bad, but a cheerful heart has a continual feast. The poor have a hard life, but being content is as good as an endless feast. All the days of the poor are evil. A secure mind is like a continual feast. Yea, own nothing and be happy, right? No. I guess you can do all things through Christ, being rich or being poor. Anyway, life is always hard for the poor, but the right attitude can turn it into a party. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but the cheerful of heart has a continual feast. And that's pie. Okay, that's... I'd like to buy more pie. Pumpkin pie would be nice. But anyway, every day is a terrible day for a miserable person, but a cheerful heart has a continual feast. So evil, poor, afflicted, troubled, miserable, apparently. And let's see, the Hebrew here, which, let's see, kol, every, and all that sort of stuff. Yom? Interesting, the word for day. And it would just be on the definitions, not really going by the endings. Anyway, the entire life of the afflicted seems disastrous, but a good heart feasts continually. All the days of the poor are difficult, but he that is of a good heart has a continual feast. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast. And omnis all dies days papyrus of the poor. Molly, all the days of the poor are bad. Secura men, secure mind, quasi something. It would be one of those. Anyway, all the days of the afflicted are evil, and the gladness of heart is a perpetual banquet. All the days of the afflicted are bad, but one with a cheerful heart has a continual feast. And I'm not going to try to say that to be like Vese. Yeah, whatever. It's the same thing, just different languages or translations. Whoop-de-doo. So, contentment, perhaps, because that could be like, what is the verse here? Not understanding the fountain of life. Interesting. What? Is this the right one? Joyful heart is good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bone. I think I said INFJ for that one. Or did I go to... No, I'm only in the chapter 15 here. Or there was a similar one, like in an earlier chapter, maybe. Oh, what is it? I can do all things through Christ. I don't remember which letter by Paul was that in, though. Yeah, it's the same kind of concept. Anyway, all the days of the afflicted are wretched, but one who has a cheerful heart enjoys the continual feast. Yep. So, despite circumstances, if you let them get to you, it's going to be pretty bad, but you have to have contentment, sort of thing. Kind of stinks when others always push you to have more and more for their sake, though. It's a lovely thing. Anyway, onward to the second part of this. Okay, so what does this show? It's sort of being FE, I'd say. So, of the valued functions, at the very least there's FE. And maybe a devaluation of status symbols and whatever. So SI and ego rather than SE. Because SE's usually about showing perfection for others versus sort of being like my own ability to cope with a routine or a given situation sort of thing. But yeah, I'd say FE and SI are at least shown. So of those types, it's going to be the same quadra of ESFJ, ISFJ, INTP, and ENTP, which is not very likely for ENTP. I would not imagine that. Of those, this sounds more like an ESFJ, although it could be INTP if Solomon again for, FE, anima, aspirational, whatever. But, yeah, so ESFJ would be if FE is the first function valued as a hero function, and then SI would be the second one. Or if it were, getting used to the status quo kind of thing, then that. But for having a lower SC valued, well, overshadowed, but placement wise could be that. For INTPs though, they would have SE as their blind spot, and even though Solomon was really rich and whatever, they would still be the polar function, blind spot, etc. So I'm thinking if it were just FE first, then it's going to be ESFJ. Otherwise, it could be something that's INTP-ish. So those are my guesses, ESFJ or INTP. So take care everyone, and try not to go crazy.